Alright, good morning everybody. Hope you guys are having a great Thursday morning. Today is February 23, and it is, we have a couple of data today to watch out for. So, here we go. Today, we have GDP at 8:30 a.m. We also have oil data at 11 a.m., natural gases, to watch out for, so keep that in mind. As far as earnings go, we have Moderna pre-market, Alibaba pre-market, it's like Domino's, Wayfair, Nicola, and Yeti. As far as post market, we'll have Block, Carvana. Looks like Wish is a good one. Beyond Meat is also a good one to watch. But as far as anything too big, I don't see much going on there. All right. So here we'll move on to pre-market. Looks like yesterday we bounced off our 3982.75 level pretty strongly. Um, which was a good, looks like to be a good buy price for investors. Um, so let's see how we do today. So right off the bat, we can see some resistance right here. We have some sellers going on at 4025, so we can watch out for a high reject. And this information I'm going to be using. We'll go for a 4023 reject. All right, so the reason why this whole zone I would consider a reject spot would be because we have our wicks over here. We have our sellers bringing us down every time we attempt. If we look at it over here, we try going down, buying, buying, and then some selling. So if you also look at it, we also have down here right below 405, we have our buyers as well. Same way, but inverse. We have our buyers stepping in. And if you look at this trend, we were hitting lower lows. So that showed bearish continuation until the volume came in and we continued up, leading back up to this sell spot. So we know that investors are having trouble up here. If we can break above it with enough volume, that we could potentially hit around these prices where we have seen massive amount of selling volume in the past. So there goes ES. As far as any levels in particular, other than this 4023, I'm probably gonna leave it like this. Um, just gonna stick patient. We do have what is looking to seem to be sort of like a curvature. Um, Nothing too strong yet. Yesterday we didn't experience much volume. As you can see, sellers came in here, and then buyers came in there. So I'm just gonna leave it patient, let it do its thing. And as far as anything else goes, we could watch maybe there for a support. Support looks to be a solid level. Gonna mark that black. We'll see. I'm gonna let this give us more information intraday, and if we see anything uh, post hours or during the market, we'll probably create highs and low levels that we can watch out for. Definitely watch this pre-market high though. 4025 can lead to a potential reject spot. 4023 is just the median, so we can definitely look at what are the potentials for that. And if you guys are interested in the chat, please do request some charts you guys want to see me chart. I will go over them and I'll let you guys know what are my thoughts on it. So if there's a specific trade you're watching on the day, just let me know and I'll go over it. All right, so let's move on to SPX. So look at how SPX bounced off this sort of wedge support, right? This was yesterday. We gained some volume around it. Um, Let me remove this. So we did gain some volume. It was a false break. We can see the wicks hold above it, or the bodies hold above it, the wicks hold below it. So what I want to see, and we also had our reject at 4015, which was a key level as well for yesterday. You can see we used this as a reject. And what we're looking for here will probably be, I'm going to try to see if we can hit a lower low If we do end up hitting a lower low, 3962 can be a bounce spot. This is, I believe this is weekly low, or weekly, I have it marked down blue as a, let's see, if we go down here, we'll see blue lines are long-term ranges. So these ranges are either based off of previous long-term continuation bounces or rejects, just something that I see very commonly being rejected or touched. So we can see some rejects up here, some bounces right there, some rejects and then breakouts. It looks like it's mainly been used as a breaker block multiple times, so this could be interesting. Like right there, we'll see. This could be a good level. We could either reject it or break through it. All right, so yeah, 4962, and if we break this high right here, I think this is where investors want to see a continuation. 4017. If we break that high, then of course do watch out for levels like this where we may see a reject at around 4031 and then mainly 4036. Previous resistance, we did fly right through it the other yesterday, and we still have these gaps to fill or at least attempt. So yeah, game plan for today. If we hit a lower low, then do watch out for 4962. If we break and hit highs, then do watch for these price targets down here. As far as profitability goes, does look really good, like a good investment. So I'll definitely watch out for that, and I'll let you guys know. All right, so we'll move on to individuals. We'll move on to individuals. So we'll go on and see how Apple looks on the hourly. Looks like pre-market we've been squeezing up a little bit. We got nothing too big. We can see intraday. We did break I think this was Friday or Tuesday. We broke our support, continued down. Now we're starting to see some clash in buyers and sellers, and the clash in buyers and sellers are in this range. So I'm gonna mark down this range for you guys. We see that the high seems to be right around here, 4150, and I'm gonna mark this a different color. I'm gonna go with let's go with purple, so we know that this is an intraday reject spot. So this is an orb strategy we can use for this trade. Open range breakout is just pre-market high traded. We break above it, or price targets will be this previous day high. Could be pre-market, could be this price here. We could just trade it to that price target. Our profitability return could be okay, so about 60 cents. Depending on the contracts, option chain contracts, could be a good investment. We'll check and see as we break out. So I'll definitely watch out for that 150 price. That looks like good potential for some calls. We'll see if there's anything big aside from that. I'm not too fond of this support. I'm just gonna leave it there, see how we do. But if we break below this, then or this wick, we'll see how we do. Yeah, I'm gonna save it here to see how we do. It's not to be a main trade unless we gain some volume, and I don't see any of the other setups. But we'll mark it down and we'll see how we do. All right, we'll move on to AMD. So as you guys know, NVDA had earnings yesterday, pushing AMD up. As we said, that AMD is a stock that follows. It's in the same sector, so it is expected. As far as resistance go, we do see rejections at this high pre-market. This is high pre-market, so that's good. And this high pre-market based off of NVIDIA earnings. Best we can see, and yesterday we did talk about retracement bounce on AMD. It did just that twice actually. Bounced off retracement pre-market, we ended up pushing, and then we had our little earnings move. As far as what we look for today, we do see sellers here. If we do end up, or buyers, sorry, if we do see buyers in this whole range, and let me use this tool to kind of make it a little bit clearer for you guys. We got buyers around this area, so if we turn buyers to sellers, what could end up happening is we got our buyers here. This couldn't be considered a demand. We had multiple bounces here. We saw some volume step in, some sellers step in there. Some indecision. We got buyers there. Massive sell through. Now we're gonna go retest. If we don't, then expect either two things: this whole range to become a breaker block, or to become what it just is, a supply. So what we're gonna look into is a reject, mainly between these prices. I'll mark down which prices I'm talking about. Right around here, we're looking for the body and wicks to sort of meet. So we got this price, we got our wicks below it. So we'll see how that specific price matches, whether we reject it, we go back down, or if we break it, continuation up. We do have our retracements to watch out for, so that will be a massive sell spot for investors. What could also go on for NVDA is a gap and go, which is a common strategy that tends to happen in the open after earnings. So it is a strategy where we ride the earnings gap up. It's about what, 6%, and volume increases. Investors are either taking profit or they're going to continue to bag hold, looking for a continuation up as volume and the stock increases based off of their data, or just the opportunity that investors don't want to miss. So we could either go up a few points or sell off immediately, depending on how we open. So we'll see. This area, basically all in all, just watching for rejects here, especially this retracement and this 80.39. If we fill this zone completely, the high of the zone isn't really a exact measurement, so let me give you a better measurement there that looks clean. Still, same idea. This retracement is leading to a rejection, so we'll have that on watch. I'm going to put my alert here so we do get a warning beforehand. And that setup also looks great. All right. All right, guys, we'll move on to Amazon. Looks like Amazon also almost bounced 94. Didn't really do too much. We're kind of now using this whole zone as a support. We got our pre-market bounce here, open day reject, body candle fill, pre-market reject, pre-market and post hours or current hours reject, and now we're seeing pre-market. So 97.01 could be a key spot. As we know yesterday, Amazon had relative strength at open compared to the overall market, which was interesting because Amazon lately, as you can see, we've been trending down. We've been in this trend for the past few days, and to see it today gain that volume was really interesting, or yesterday. So I'm curious to see how Amazon does react. Our morning push was largely caused by Amazon, so it's going to be interesting to see how it does. It was a leader in the market, essentially. So if we do break above 97, we got our levels up here to watch for rejects. We got our levels over here to watch for rejects. And I'd mainly stick with these two for safe trim and profits. Goal, as far as scalping it up here, only if you're diamond handing, with these two targets are key. So we'll mark them down like so. All right. So 97.38 looks like 38 cents to about $1. The return could be good. We'll see how it does. This resistance is mainly what I'll be watching on Amazon. It's sort of like this Apple and resistance that we have. So I won't be forcing anything there. Only if the setup is good, the volume is relatively stronger, we can take it. If not, then we'll leave it alone. As far as anything to the support side goes, we did gain buyers down here, or at least resistance to buyers. We do have our major buys over here, it looks like. So we'll see. We'll leave it alone. We'll see how it does. I'm gonna let it be. So now we'll move on to we'll go on to AMD. Someone said dark pool at 94.58 2/21. That's interesting. Big money in. That's nice. All right. We'll move on to NVDA. NVDA absolutely pushing insanely on earnings. We got about a 14% move. As far as sellers go, looks like we already hit a higher high. This spot was gap fill from previous days. We'll go back here and we'll try to see it. So we got our let me go 1 day, not 21 day. We got our gap right here that we filled. Looks like pre-market we're above it. We have rejection spots a little bit above it, but it looks like we also filled above. We have a gap up here. Doubt we're gonna hit that. Let's see. A few things can either happen. We either continue up, like I mentioned, gap and go, or we take it back before the market opens, and we see some resistance here between buyers and sellers. I think NVIDIA is a stock that's going to see a lot of action today. A lot of investors' eyes. They're going to try to look for opportunities. But as you guys know, this was my sell spot, and up down here was my buy spot. And to see it sort of break, we'll have to see how it does after that. We'll look for more levels, try to find something that we can use. You got one there. We got one up here. And this is based off of right here. A little bit of a bounce right there. Overall breaks. Seems like a reject there. And then for the bottom side, we have right here, and some just consolidation there, but overall reject right here. So this doesn't look bad. We can use these two levels as a following reject spot, but we'll wait and see how the market reacts before doing so. So this is our AMD trade idea. It is earnings, so I probably won't force or take anything on NVIDIA today, but that is all up to you guys. Alright, we'll move on to Meta. Looks like Meta is sort of breaking out pre-market again for the few times that it already has. We'll see how it does. And Meta could just, well, we're squeezing right now, so it has its falling wedge. So you guys know falling wedge is a trend reversal, so we're on a downtrend. So what could happen is break, little volume push. We can either trade up, hit this 178 resistance, hit this 180. Overall, 2 price targets to watch out for. As far as rejects go closely, we have this price, so we'll mark it down. This price. We'll go for this bounce here, as well as this reject here. It's tight, so I wouldn't really call this a perfect price target, but safe sells are always important. We'll leave this here. We're gonna go lightly. We're gonna move this to a black one to show that it is a resistance. Alright, we'll move on to Costco. Costco looks like yesterday we did break above. This was just a small little visual representation of what I believe is going on. So what I believe is going on is just a trend down, and 2 things could either happen. Continuation down, but we did bounce off retracement, which is good, and looks like we're at retracement pre-market, or we continue up, we break, or we break down off this trend. So let's see if we can mark some levels. As far as anything big goes, doesn't look like it. Yeah, nothing too crazy there. we'll just look for the retracement bounce. We have tested this price quite a few times in the past. We got this right here. Got a little small bounce there, but it's a break. We got our second test here, and now third test here. We'll have to see how we do today. We could either bounce or we break through it, and we have all this down here to try to achieve. So we'll see. All right, let's go to Tesla. Okay, so Tesla's at that zone of zone of rejection that I was looking for an intraday scalp yesterday. The idea for yesterday's trade was to take calls above OR, but as you can see, I didn't, mainly because of the volatility we had. Lots of rejections, no certain movements above the pre-market high. We did see a reject after failing to fully break pre-market, and we ended up breaking pre-market lows. And instead, we dropped down. We had our targets that we would have if we shorted, and it bounced off immediately with volume, continuing it up on the day, but overall fairly weak. So what we could see today, pre-market high rejection, especially since we're in this little rejection zone that I've been waiting on. I'll definitely watch out to see how we react here. If we gain volume, we push up, it'll be void. If we reject with good selling momentum, I'll take some puts, write it down, depending on if the option chain is worthy of investment. All right, let's go on to Google. Google looks to have a 92.25. We did break. It looks like as far as anything big goes. Let's go on the 15-minute frame for this one. Looks like a pre-market resistance. We got our wick here. Overall selling spot here. Pre-rejection there. One there, and then two here. And this is also post-breaking this wedge. Looks like we broke it, consolidated, not enough volume to push us, and instead we kind of just consolidated. Now it's pre-market, and we'll see how it does. This level isn't bad. We have our low there as well that we sort of rejected. I'll see. Well, I'm gonna leave it here. I'm gonna have an alert set. If we gain enough volume, I'll take maybe lightly positions. We'll see. Microsoft, I don't think I'm interested in trading it right now. So far, I'm gonna reset the chart. What I see is so far consolidation the past few days, Tuesday and Wednesday, have a little bit of a curvature coming up. What I see here is a resistance right there. We can tell pre-market and this resistance here can lead to a nice bounce. We got a sort of a break there, pre-bounce there too. Nothing too crazy. Okay, we got a nice level there. When I see these spots here, what that tells me is big rejection of price, and what it looks to be is earnings. So that also gives us a good insight on that price. Not bad. Yeah, not bad at all. Let's see. We got one. We got two. Maybe three. We got four. And then pre-market, including that high, we can say about 5, 6. So, I guess calls above 254.78. As far as lows go, we do seem to hit lower lows. So the next reject could lead to a lower low. Just be aware of that. Basically telling me that sellers or buyers are weak, sellers are strong. What do we see lower? I don't see much going lower lows, or if we were to go lower, I wouldn't see anything interesting yet. How about that? Maybe there. Yeah, that's about it. I'm gonna leave this here. I'm gonna probably get a retracement, see how we look, and I'm gonna see which levels are we having trouble at. Alright. Alright, let's move on. We'll go on to SQ. Let me actually write down an alert here. Alright, SQ, we have earnings tomorrow. I'm not going to touch it. PayPal, I'm still in a swing for PayPal calls. I'm still waiting on a continuation. Looks like we gapped up a little bit, which is great. I want to see yesterday's high break. And of course, we have our targets listed as this pre-market little rejection. We're looking at this pre-market rejection. We're looking at this resistance, including pre-market rejection. And we're looking at this bounce slash rejection there. All price targets, so basically we're just looking for continuation up, up, and up. Main targets are 78, but I wouldn't mind taking profit down here. All these sell spots are not bad. So that's our PayPal position. It's a falling wedge, so we are looking for a trend reversal. We just need that volume to take us up there. All right, we're looking at Netflix. Netflix has had a fairly strong sell continuation lately. If we look, I'm gonna reset this chart. If we look at Netflix, we've been continuing down after breaking this spot. We're down about what, $10-20, around $10, a little more than that. Buy spots, I think I cleared all my buy spots on it. I wouldn't really be looking for anything else at the current moment. So I'm gonna leave it be. We'll see if we can find a bounce spot. As far as Netflix goes, I don't plan on taking anything for it at the moment. So let's move on to HD. HD sees some bounce at around 296 or 295. This is post earnings. We had a bad earnings. We sold past demand. What could end up happening is, depending if buyers are strong down here, we can retest, bounce, probably reject it on here, or we can continue lower, bounce around 292, which we can look for some calls to ride. But I wouldn't really force anything on this. We'll see. We'll have to see. Rejects. I want to look for reject here. We have our monthly long demand. We go here. We see this demand has been fairly strong for a while. Massive amount of buyers have been right in that price. So if we can retest here, we'll probably reject and try to take some puts there. All right. BA. Probably gonna have to do a chart clearing on this one soon. We have a lot of information. Looks to be bouncing down here. Buyers down here very lightly. I wanted to see buyers down here. As you guys know, we have our main buyers out here, but if we also have some light buyers up here. So if we do break below it, we can try to hit 201. That was what I was mainly watching. As far as reject goes, we have our small sell intraday here, bounces here. Looks like we had this spot to watch for rejects or breaks. I'm gonna be patient with this, so I'm gonna let it do its thing. And then if we do see it enter around here, buyers, up here sellers, we'll just have to be patient and see. So Disney, nothing I see. And then Roku's going to be re-entering this demand, where if we do, we'll watch for that sell on that price. Alright. And then of course we are done here. We got CVX. CVX is an oil companies have been on a really big drop lately. We broke their demand and now we're kind of just falling. Same goes with XOM. So I'm still waiting on some movement to try and find a good position, but nothing yet. Alright, that is all for today. It is 9:05. The market opens in about 25 minutes, so I'll leave you guys for this morning. Little small recap. We're looking for a 3982 again bounce, mainly a 5023 to 5025 break. That spot has been a sell spot for yesterday and today included pre-market. So if we can see a bounce, or I mean a reject or a continuation up, then definitely watch for these spots as a rejection. So basically the idea is either we reject this high, continue low, bounce either over here or over here, or we continue up, reject, ride. We'll see. Alright, next we'll watch SPX. Little recap there. We have our 3962 for a bounce, and overall 4017 key pre-market or pre-yesterday's high, or not yesterday's high, but a yesterday level that we can watch out for to scalp and make some money off that. Looks really clean. Higher highs, this gap fill could also be nice. We have our wedge support to watch out for. Break below that. It's 3962. Alright. Apple, good setup. We're watching for a 150 break. Someone asked AMD and NVDA. Of course, we have this 80.89 rejection that we can watch out for. NVIDIA also has this 234.67 rejection, but we also want to look for a main sell zone at around 230. Amazon, we're looking at 297 for rejects or continuation up. Meta, we're going to be patient. We'll see how it does. Our main goal will be 174.59. We're looking for rejects on Tesla on this demand, 5-minute demand. Costco, we'll just leave it be. Let's look at how the retrace does, and I think that's about it. Maybe Microsoft and Google calls, and we'll hold our PayPals. And yeah, hope you guys have a good trading day. Trade smart, trade safe. If you guys have any questions, let me know, and we'll see each other soon. I won't be trading live inside of the trading community. I'm gonna be trading from my desk, just won't be on live. So hope you guys have a good day. See y'all later.